Welcome back. Today, we're going to learn about a common logical fallacy called the personal incredulity fallacy. You've probably come across it before, even if you didn't know what it was called. Let's take a closer look and see how it works. Have you ever been in a conversation or debate and heard someone say something like this? It's so frustrating, right? It just shuts the discussion down. That is known as the personal incredulity fallacy. So here it is. The personal incredulity fallacy is when someone decides that their own confusion is somehow proof that something is false. Their argument isn't based on facts or evidence. It's literally based on them not getting it. What's surprising is how often this fallacy appears, especially when people are talking about complex topics. Let's look at a few classic examples you've probably heard. Here's a big one from physics. Let's be honest, astrophysics is a complicated topic for most of us. But to say that black holes can't be real just because you personally can't wrap your head around them, that's not really a valid argument. And we see the exact same pattern in biology. Yeah, the details of evolution are incredibly complex and span millions of years. But the scientific evidence doesn't disappear just because one person doesn't understand it. And here it is again in medicine. A vaccine's effectiveness is based on tons of scientific data and rigorous testing. It doesn't depend on whether every single person understands the super complex science behind it all. So, can you see the pattern? This fallacy appears in many different situations. But what's the real mistake? Where does the reasoning go wrong? Let's take a closer look. This really lays it all out, doesn't it? The fallacy is all about mixing up a subjective feeling, I'm confused, with an objective claim. Therefore, it must be false. But, reality doesn't really care if we understand it or not. The facts are the facts. The most crucial takeaway is that a lack of understanding is not evidence. Not understanding something does not disprove anything. Let's be honest. When you hear someone use this fallacy, you may be thinking something like this. But saying it out loud probably won't help the discussion or convince anyone. So instead of going on the attack, there's a much better, much more constructive way to handle this. Let's see how you can build a bridge instead of a wall when you come across this fallacy. It's actually pretty simple. First, just acknowledge their point of view. That keeps the conversation from shutting down. Then you reframe the problem. You could say something like, "You're right, it's a super confusing topic, but our personal understanding, yours or mine, doesn't really change the facts that are based on all this evidence." See? It makes the point just, without the insult. And there you go. The next time you hear it, you won't just recognize it. You'll know how to respond thoughtfully and keep the conversation moving forward. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.
If you'd like more personalized feedback, writing support, and discussion sessions, they're available with me or with our selected tutors. All the details are here.